Coach, this was the first time this season that both Jaylen Green and Devin Booker have logged 25 or more points. How much more comfortable are you seeing Jaylen get out there?
Yeah, definitely from the start. It was like his burst. They were switching pick and rolls. He was able to get a matchup that he liked. I thought in the first and in the third, he had stretches where, just going to take some time. And his ability to get to the rim, his ability to get past defenders, I think an underrated skill he has is his ability to make a play and pass for a teammate. So it's great to see, good to see for him, especially second night of a back-to-back.
Coach, obviously you started running some action for Devin to curl up top and get some double acts, got some shots off of that in the third. As a coach, when he got it going like that, how much is the communication between you and him important to find ways either to get him to score or keep running the same play that he's had success with?
He can call whatever play he wants. I think he understands that, and he was directing the offense at time where he exactly wanted it. Yeah, that's who he is. He's always thinking. You can see at the free throw line he's really thinking about what's next and what the defense is doing. That's in tonight's third quarter, and that's him every second he's out there. So he's kind of probably in that flow state where he's in a really good rhythm. And we could have, if we could have played him longer, we would have. When he gets in that spot, it's just. That's the unique part. When you're around superstars, that's the unique times where it's hard to talk about because it's so different than every other night when they get into that state. And then basically everything's just flowing through him, whether he wants to shoot or make the play. I thought that was a big stretch there at the end of the third.
And then Malawatch, 5 blocks. I think he had 10 coming in. You've said before it's about him learning from every moment. What do you feel like happened in the last, say, 24 hours from last game that enabled him to have a different impact on that end?
I think the biggest thing is just he knows he's getting consistent minutes. Hopefully the first game jitters of being in there were out after last night. Doesn't change. Like, we wouldn't put you in there if we didn't believe in you. And we're going to continue to help him. I thought his presence at the rim, especially a team like this, like we talked about, that gets there so often, I thought his presence at the rim, even on some of the foul calls, were close. So that's great. It's a great starting point. We'll clean those up. Next game he'll be even better, and that's what we're looking for.
Lastly, obviously you've talked about how to end games and close games, and it got sloppy there at the end. What do you attribute that to tonight?
Yeah, a little bit of pressure. I mean, they do have some guards that really pressure the basketball. Oso's 6th foul, I think a little bit portion of that. Second night of back. I mean, you could list the reasons. The good part is we won the game. Again, those are good reps. I do think there was some growth. We've been in some need 3 situations where we've tried to foul. We've gotten in some tough situations where we haven't completely executed. The ball goes inside the 3-point line. Ryan fouls. Even on the 4, when we were up 4, we knew exactly what we were doing. They end up scoring. We know who was taking the ball out. We knew we had no timeouts. So both plays, we kind of knew what was coming. Credit to our guys. Like, they believe in what Maxi's doing behind the bench. Like, they believe in what he's doing. We knew exactly what was going on. So pretty good execution on that final last couple possessions.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about Grayson. He's had 28 assists in his last 4 games. It feels like this season his presence in the paint as a slasher has improved. Just what have you sort of seen from him that has allowed him to grow as a playmaker due to his presence in the paint?
I do think this is part of where the game is changing. Like, you can see how the floor just needs space and drivers. And the benefit of the calls and the game, the way it's played, is for the more physical downhill drivers. He has that. It always starts with his gravity because he can shoot off the dribble and off the catch. And then his ability to get into the paint he's had, and I think he has adapted and evolved as a passer out of that. The last couple nights, even last night, I think he had 8 assists, and we didn't shoot it very well. It easily could have been double figures. The ball's in his hands a lot when he's on the floor. We really trust him, even there late game.
I wanted to ask about Jaylen because I know, obviously, like the shooting numbers haven't been there and whatnot, but how do you feel that his shot profile was tonight in terms of just keeping the flow of the offense the way that it was?
Yeah, we all understand what it is like, but there is some defense to it. So some teams are more protect the rim. They have bigger bodies where the pick and roll coverage is. X5 is there. Like I said early in the game, they switched 5 and they had they were playing smaller. Like Zion was their 5. So some of that is predicated on the defense. Some of that is his rhythm coming back. Some of it is just learning our movement. Our movement patterns are a little bit different offensively, and the more we can get him out there and get those reps, the more he'll evolve and get those higher quality shots.
Seems like Rasheer has a knack for just keeping possessions alive, whether it's anticipation or using his length. And then after that, he's able to kind of space out to where he needs to. So what have you seen from him in terms of reading those situations?
That was a big one. In the third or fourth quarter, I think he got the offensive rebound and he ended up with a catch and shoot 3. So good resolve, good bounce back. He was able to be coached tonight right off the bat. He's taking steps. He's plain and simple. He's taking steps. And we like where he's headed. His length is real. His activity is real. And he's improved his jump shot.
Is 58 attempts from 3 just kind of one of those things that can happen in a night? Is that number too high for you, or are you kind of okay if it flows into that sometimes?
As long as they're high quality. I quickly looked at the shot quality. I think we were lower tonight than we were last night. I would always encourage more rim. Ideally, we can get there. We can get to the free throw line from it. But it does feel like we're getting some catch and shoots the last 3 nights, maybe even the Laker game where we're finding more catch and shoot threes, which we would prefer at times over the off the dribble. But part of that is Book being back in the aggressive pick and roll coverage. So 58 is a high number. 58 of 90 shots is pretty high. As long as they're high quality, we'll take them. And
like Dwayne said, pregame, all respect to what you said about Dylan, but with him being here tonight, did you just see any conversations at all? Did he talk to the team at all?
We just like having them around. It's like another injured player. They're always around. We love their presence, love their energy. We've talked a lot about that, even to our group when they're out. We love to have them involved. This is our group. Love our group. We find energy within ourselves from each other.
Coach, we talked a lot about the spacing and the respacing process and how you kind of layer things together. It feels like something that comes from that is someone like Gillespie coming away with a career-high offensive rebounds tonight. When you put that process together for the spacing and then the tagging up, is that something that you kind of expect that can come from that when a guy gets a rhythm for that process and how to kind of pull the strings with it?
Collins always probably had the knack, and I know when we first talked about this summer, he was one of those guys that had the knack of just going to get it. I think part of the offensive rebounding piece is when you know the ball is moving and you can guess who the shooter is, you can anticipate where the shot is coming from and who shoots it. He just has an innate quality just to go find the basketball. And tonight I thought some of his loose ones really helped us out of some stretches. So we have tag rules. I'm not sure he's always tagging. He's kind of like going to get it at times. But he definitely has a knack. He's probably had it his whole career. We're just able to emphasize it a little bit more.
And we talked about New Orleans being active at the level in pregame. It felt like the tempo for you all against the switches was maybe better tonight than it had been recently. What were your assessments of that, and what did you like most about that approach tonight?
You want to take a look. I mean, I did think early we had a little rhythm to it. We must have because they adjusted. And at the end of the game, it's always going to come up. Fourth quarter is going to come up. How do we attack switches? How do we deal with physicality? And I thought at times in the fourth we didn't handle it great. So it's probably a little bit of a mix of both. It's good growth and good growth opportunities to talk about it because we're going to continue to see it.
Wendy, last one.
Hi, Coach. Can I ask 2? Just one?
You can ask 2.
Okay. Hi, Coach. So I just wanted to ask you about the third quarter again with Devin Booker. I know he kind of said something to you there, was talking to the bench. Did you want to just, talk about what he said? Did he light, the team on fire, during that quarter? What happened there?
I'm not sure. I think he talks to us pretty often, so I'm not exactly sure. Definitely had it going, so whatever he said, I agreed with.
And then just last question, just comparing both games and just kind of how they came about, would you say that tonight the team just needed to better execute, the easy things, or did you think that they just needed to pick up the level of the standard that they've set this season?
We were more into that. Just we have a standard we've set of play. Felt like early we let those guys. We just weren't as good early last night. Thought our start was really good. Started the third quarter. But really, the entire third quarter was pretty good. We're trying to look for 48. We know that's probably not possible, but we're going to try to stretch them there. 48 minutes of valuing each possession on both sides of the ball. Thank you.